My father's in my life, but on my terms. I defend my mom. He wasn't good to my mom.
This is my whole life, everything I've ever known.
There comes a time in every star's life when the truth can no longer stay in the shadows. When the whispers, the rumors, the controversies, they all come crashing down. And now, at 54, Shemar Moore has finally decided to confirm what we've all been wondering. For years, he's lived under the flashing lights of Hollywood. But what if I told you that behind the charm, the abs, and the infectious smile lies a story darker and more complex than anyone imagined? What was Shemar hiding? Why did he wait so long to speak up? And most importantly, will this revelation change everything we thought we knew about him? Buckle up, because this is not your typical celebrity story. This is a story of pain, resilience, secrets, and the moment the past finally catches up with you. Before he became the heartthrob of Hollywood, Shemar Moore was just a boy trying to make sense of a world that was constantly shifting beneath his feet. Born on April 20th, 1970, in Oakland, California, his childhood was anything but stable. His father, Shemar Moore, was a man with a past, one tied to the radical movements of the 70s, a time of unrest and revolution. But revolution comes with consequences. Shemad's involvement with the Black Panther Party wasn't just a footnote in history. It directly impacted young Shemar's life. His father was imprisoned while he was still a baby, leaving Shemar's mother, Marilyn Wilson, to raise him alone. Imagine that, growing up without a father, constantly moving from one place to another, never feeling like you truly belonged. And here's the twist. Shemar's first language wasn't even English. His mother, a woman of French-Canadian and Irish descent, took him away from the racial tensions in America and raised him in Denmark and Bahrain for the early years of his life. He spoke Danish before he ever spoke a word of English. Can you imagine growing up in a world where you don't quite fit in? Too foreign for America, too American for abroad, a child of two worlds, but fully belonging to neither. The absence of a father leaves a void that can never truly be filled. Even when Shemar Moore was released from prison, the damage had already been done. Shemar once described their relationship as cautious. That's a chilling word to use for your own father. Not loving, not warm, just cautious. But here's where it gets even more complicated. Despite everything, Shemar did something most wouldn't. He provided his father with a place to live. Yes, the same man who had been absent for most of his life, who had caused his mother so much pain. Why? Because that's the kind of man Shemar is. Loyal, forgiving, but never forgetful. He spent his entire life trying to balance the weight of his past with the expectations of the world. But was it enough? Could a man truly repair a relationship that was never whole to begin with? Shemar didn't become famous overnight. He wasn't an industry kid born into luxury. No, his journey to Hollywood was a fight, one filled with rejection, self-doubt, and countless auditions that ended in disappointment. It was in 1994 that everything changed. He landed the role of Malcolm Winters on The Young and the Restless. For 8 years, he was the smooth, charismatic star of daytime TV, winning awards and making fans fall in love with his undeniable charm. But daytime TV wasn't enough. Shemar wanted more. The role of Derek Morgan made Shemar a household name. For over a decade, he played the tough yet compassionate FBI agent, cementing his place as one of TV's biggest stars. But behind the scenes, there was drama. Tensions with co-star Thomas Gibson stirred up headlines. And when Shemar left the show in 2016, the internet was flooded with speculation. Was there bad blood? Was he forced out? Or was he simply done playing by Hollywood's rules? And don't forget the leaked video that surfaced in 2016, the video that fans still talk about to this day. A personal video meant for friends that somehow went public, adding more fire to the already swirling rumors about his departure from the show. Was it an accident, or was it sabotage? With fame comes rumors, and Shemar Moore has had his fair share. For years, tabloids linked him to some of the most famous women in Hollywood: Halle Berry, Toni Braxton, Annabelle Acosta. But then came the whispers, speculation about his personal life, questions about his relationships, and it didn't stop there. At one point, rumors swirled about his sexuality. Shemar didn't shy away from addressing it, telling fans that he had nothing to hide and nothing to prove. "If you think I'm gay, send your boyfriend over to my house for the weekend and see what happens," he joked in an interview, his humor cutting through the noise, but also revealing a man tired of defending himself. The internet is ruthless, and for years, Shemar was the target of endless gossip. He fought back. He laughed it off. He denied the lies. But the truth? The truth is something only he could confirm. And that moment finally came when Shemar spoke out. He set the record straight, once and for all, the biggest role of his life: becoming a father at 52. For all his years in Hollywood, nothing prepared him for fatherhood. In 2023, at the age of 52, Shemar Moore became a first-time dad to his daughter, Frankie. The same man who once questioned whether he'd ever have a family of his own was now holding his newborn daughter in his arms. And this changed everything. Gone were the Hollywood scandals, the rumors, the controversies. For the first time in his life, Shemar Moore had something greater than fame. He had a family. But there's one last question. Was he ready for it? Because for a man who spent his entire life fighting against his past, fatherhood is the one thing he never had a role model for. And yet, Shemar has embraced this role with open arms. He calls Frankie his miracle baby, a gift he never thought he'd receive. He's even shared candid moments of diaper changes and sleepless nights on social media, showing fans that beneath the Hollywood glitz, he's just like any other new dad, nervous, excited, and overwhelmed. But Shemar's journey has never been smooth. In 2009, he was struck by a car while riding his bike. It was a hit and run, and it left him with a broken leg. The recovery was grueling, but he came back stronger, both mentally and physically. And then there was the 2017 charity scandal, when one of his former co-stars, Thomas Gibson, was accused of embezzling funds from a charity event. Though Shemar wasn't directly involved, rumors spread that he knew more than he was letting on. He denied it, but the whispers lingered. And let's not forget the ongoing speculation around his sudden exit from Criminal Minds. Some sources claim it was due to creative differences. Others say it was because he was tired of the toxic environment. The truth? We may never know. So, what do we make of Shemar Moore's journey? A man who grew up without a father, but still tried to mend a broken bond. A man who conquered Hollywood, only to walk away on his own terms. A man who battled rumors, scandals, and controversy, but refused to be defined by them. A man who at 54 has finally found his purpose in family, not fame. But what do you think? Did Shemar Moore's past shape him into the man he is today? Do you believe his Hollywood exit was on his own terms? Or was there more to the story? And now that he's a father, will he finally break the cycle of his own childhood? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Decade Legend for more gripping celebrity stories. Until next time, stay curious, stay questioning, and always dig deeper.